So this one was an Easter picture of the children, and I just love how Deanna's just grabbing her brother and her brother is grabbing her, and they look so happy.
We take pictures to remember the good times, important days, special milestones.
We went outside and had to take a picture with their little backpacks before they went to school. She was always full of energy. She always had a smile on her face.
And as a parent, you never imagine that those pictures and memories will be all that remain of your child.
And this is Deanna's grave site.
But it was something Sergeant Catherine Michal would come to learn all too well after an early morning call on October 28th, 2006.
And I remember right away shaking my head and going, no, absolutely no. My little girl dead? It had to be wrong. I started thinking the State Patrol had to mis-ID the person. That wasn't my little girl dead.
The State Patrol hadn't made a mistake that night, but the man that caused the crash did.
I learned she was killed, she was dead, because one person made a bad choice, and that choice was to go drink and then drive.
16-year-old Deanna was on her way home from work when the crash happened.
She was driving down 494, and she hit a barricade that was in her lane of traffic. And the reason why she hit that barricade was prior to her being on that road, the impaired driver hit some temporary barricades that were dividing the east and west for 494. Because at this time in 2006, that road was under construction.
When she hit one of the barricades he had pushed into her lane, she lost control of her vehicle. Her car spun 180 degrees and came to a stop facing oncoming traffic.
911 emergency?
Yeah, there is accident on 494.
But I do know that she was alive at that point because the Good Samaritans that had stopped to deal with the impaired driver said they could hear her.
Okay.
She was screaming.
Okay, you're on the bridge
But
right now,
before
is that
anyone
correct?
could get to her, a semi-truck with 2 trailers also hit the barricade, then her car.
He
many cars are
slammed
involved?
his semi-trailer into Deanna's car, and it caused her car to go up in the air, and there was some type of explosion or flames, and then her car just continued to roll over and over down the freeway.
The damage to Deanna's 1993 Chevy Beretta was so severe that even with a seatbelt on, she was ejected, and part of her car landed on top of her. She took her last breaths on the pavement.
As a parent, as a police officer, I don't want anyone to ever have to go through what I've had to go through, what my family's had to go through. It's an unimaginable amount of pain. We don't need to have this happen. This is preventable. My daughter would be alive today if he chose to get into a cab and go home.
The drunk driver's blood alcohol level that night was 0.29. That's over 3 times the legal limit.
What I want people to know is that it's okay to have a good time. I want to have a good time. We deserve to have fun. It's okay to go out, but you need to have a plan. You need to think before you drink and make a plan. I know how I feel, and it's horrible to have to live every single day without my daughter, to only imagine what life would be like.
The photos that would have been of Deanna graduating or going to college, getting married or having kids, are instead photos of her gravesite, all because someone decided to drink and drive.
And it's so hard because these are flowers that I had to pick out and a casket that I had to pick out, but I don't get to help pick out a wedding dress or flowers or anything like that because she's gonna be forever 16. It's just very sad, so sad, but yet it's preventable. And that's when you just shake your head because she could have been here today if he made a good choice.